is just to set the record straight, and you are all aware of development and some unpleasant information has been passed into the public space a few days. Precisely on Saturday, a group of impostors, I want to call them, gathered together somewhere in one corner of the city and impersonated in the course of doing that, they committed what is clearly seen as perjury, and that is in the hands of the police. They are handling that already. I want to just put the issue straight. On the 29th of September 2020, the former national chairman, Professor Tunde Adeniran, former Nigerian ambassador to Germany and one-time Minister of Education, on his 75th birthday, which was a Thursday that coincided with the end of this meeting of the party, he stepped aside and resigned his appointment, his position rather, as the chairman of the party, stating that having attained the age of 75, he felt he needed to exit partisan politics. We were all, it was a shock to every one of us because it was not planned. We had no pre-knowledge of that. It was at the end of UC that he submitted to us an already prepared document stating his decision, the reason for the decision, and gave us his advice on what to do, and told the House that the then Deputy National Chairman South, who happens to be the current National Chairman now, was not readily available to step in. And as you know, nature of course vacuum. So he then handed over to the then Deputy National Chairman, not Dr. Abdul Ahmed Istia, who was also in attendance. And he communicated that position in written form, submitted to INEC, that he was stepping aside and that he had all of that. And everybody was shocked that we were not prepared for that. But in order to prevent the situation where we're going to have a vacuum, the National Working Committee immediately went into an executive session after that, the end of the meeting with the end of that episode. And they deliberated on the development and said, well, since this is the development, and given the reason stated by the outgone chairman, that in order to prevent the situation where we will have a vacuum, we need to rally support for Dr. Abdul in acting capacity. That decision was unanimously taken. And there and then, the NWC agreed that they were to communicate the development to INEC. And that was done. And Dr. Abdul Ahmed is here. By virtue of that development, became the acting chairman on the 27th of. Not long after that, Dr. Olu Agunloye, the then Deputy National Chairman South, which according to our constitution, the provision of our constitution, is the national officer who is expected to step into that position, because the constitution says if there is a vacancy, if there is a resignation of a chairman for whatever reason, the deputy national chairman from that zone steps into his position. But we were told he was not readily available. And that statement was portrayed by the fact that Dr. Akunloye himself was not at that meeting, and he did not, because it was a period of COVID. For a period of time, he was not in it, but he was in constant communication, submitting memos and all of that to every SWC meeting. But he wasn't readily available at that point. So the second day, we received a letter from Dr. Akunloye saying, no, it was a breach of process, it's a contravention of our laws and our provision of our, that he was not consulted, all of that, and said, no, he is readily available. That it was an infringement of his right, and that he was not going to take of that. So we took it from there, and it went like that for 4 months. Dr. Akunloye sat on this table, on this seat as acting chairman. And Dr. Akunloye, being a national figure, being an elder statesman, being a respected person, an intellectual, did not gather press anywhere in Ibadan or anywhere to ascribe to himself the name he is now entitled to at that point. He had not become formally. The man came in, submitted his the memo, his complaint and all that formally to the party. And he sat there with us, with Dr. Akunloye, Dr. Abdul presiding, and he argued his case clearly in the interest of the party, for justice to prevail, for the right things to be done, and things to be done properly. Eventually, in the course of those intervening periods, INEC wrote to us and said, we have a copy of that contravention of party's constitution and illegal appointment of Dr. Abdul Isaac as acting national chairman of the Social Democratic Party. They said they were not going to, they advised us to abide by our constitution. They wrote to us, signed by Rose or Rano Anthony, secretary to the commission. That was in February 2021. So with that development, it became obvious that we needed to comply with, in accordance with the party constitution, that we contravene our own rules and all of that. And so, with that development, INEC is the regulatory institution for all political parties in Nigeria. And it's already in the office of INEC, ID, and all that. It's something that I can make available to you. But the truth of the matter is that in this particular instance, my concern is to just state to you that this is what transpired and that we are disposed to achieving peace at the end of the day, harmony and cohesion. You understand? If I begin to state all of these details, it will not amount to any positive for the party. The issue is that to correct those things in the public space, that the people they had no power to have done what they did, and it is all they have done is a nullity in the face of the law, and even with our regulatory office commission with INEC and all of that. So I will give you a copy of this for you to get the details. They are listed there. That's why I said it's a public document. But the summary of it is that there were infractions, and the major infraction was that he acted beyond his mandate and the power he had as an officer, which was inimical to the interest of the party and calculated attempt to organize. We know the frenzy, the political environment is getting to a feverish pitch as we speak towards 2023. A lot of people are looking for opportunities and platforms where they can take over, inducing people here and there, bringing some people, and it will be unfortunate if you fall for such a part of anyone who wants to run on our platform or wants to use our platform will come to us and we give them our platform through the stipulated considered means and stipulated procedure as we have them doing already. We have the president aspirant who had just submitted his letter and there are others still coming. In 2018, we had one of the biggest and freest convention, which was widely reported, where we had 5 presidential aspirants and one eventually emerged. You all covering, so we are going to even have a bigger one because SDP is poised to reenacting the whole 93 epoch. Thank you. Pray correctly, situate the issue correctly, and you can see that in my statement. I just told you that even the details you want from us, I'm not talking about that. The issue is that the fundamental infraction that was committed by him was this, and that has been captured, and the case is open. The incoming, the suspension, parties are suspended, even the ruling party, they have their issue, suspension here, and they will still come together. It goes to tell you that this is a big party, and that we are capable, we have the very strong internal mechanism for crisis management, and that will be explored and get the party stronger. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for that good question. All those details have been captured in our letter to INEC and to the office of the IG. And as a party that is, we seek cohesion. We know that every crisis has to be resolved through the right table. We're getting, but the summary of it is that he summoned a NEC meeting that he doesn't have the power to do, and by inducing some individual. And mind you, check the record. That NEC that he did, you will not see any NEC member except one person. No NWC member of the party at that meeting. So we got some people together to do that alone. Is an impeachable offense. Thank you. Any other?